Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. This is Matiullah Khatak. Our topic is If, a poem which has been composed by Rudyard Kipling. At the end of this lesson, we must be able to achieve these objectives. To gain these objectives by all means. So, a student must be able to know that possession of these qualities, as described here in the poem, if he wants to become a good and a successful man, is indispensable. Indispensable means extremely necessary. So the condition is if he wants to become a good and a successful man, then the possession of such qualities, of these qualities, as you will see them in the poem, then the possession of these qualities is indispensable, as extremely necessary that a man should adorn himself with these qualities. These qualities are self confidence, truthfulness, broad mindedness, steadfastness. What is steadfastness? Firmness. What is firmness? To be resolute, to be consistent, that nobody can move you away from your destination, from your path. You are steadfast. Honesty and courage, boldness, these are some of the qualities which a man must possess if he wants to be a successful or a good man in his lifetime. So these qualities make a man superior to others and make him a successful man in his lifetime. So this poem has been written by Rudyard Kipling, who was an English journalist, short story writer, poet, and a novelist. He was born in India, which inspired much of his work. Inspired much of his work means that many of his works took their settings, his imaginations were much inspired by the settings, situation which he saw in India. So much of his works were inspired by his childhood which he spent in India. Kipling's works of fiction. Fiction means which are not based on real life. The characters, events, and settings, they are all imaginary. Kipling's works of fiction include The Jungle Book, so this is a fictional work, Kim, and many short stories, including The Man Who Would Be a King. So he was born on 30 December 1865 in Mumbai, India, and he died on January 18, 1936, London, United Kingdom. So, what is the message that he wants to convey through this poem? This poem, If by Rudyard Kipling, is a poem of ultimate inspiration, ultimate extreme inspiration that tells us how to deal with different situations in life. So it tells you how to deal with different situations in life. The poet addresses his son. In this poem, you will see that the poet addresses his son and conveys his ideas about how to win this life, how to be a winner in this life, and after all, how to be a good human. So he advises his son and tells him how to be a winner in this life and how to be a good human being. This is the theme of this poem. According to the poet, a man must be humble. He must be humble means noble in his character, patient and rational, logical, scientific in his approach, truthful, dependable. Dependable means reliable, which can be depended, जिस पर भरोसा किया जा सकता है. And persevering must be consistent. As I told you, steadfastness. Persevering means steadfastness, firm in his resolution. His behavior in response to deleterious events. Deleterious events means such events which can harm you, which can damage you, and cruel man is important. So, behavior towards deleterious events, harmful events, damaging events, and cruel man is important. So, you will come across in your life across situations which will be deleterious, harmful for you, and you will come across cruel men in your life as you move on. But how you behave toward them, how you respond to them, these cruel men and these harmful situations, it proves you to be a man, how what kind of man you are. So he must continue to have faith in himself. The writer advises his son that you should have faith in himself when other people doubt you. He must understand that his words might be twisted and used for evil. Twisted means his words may be used out of context. You used your words for one context and they twist your words. They derive a different meaning out of your words. They use it for different contexts in order to use them for a particular wrong purpose, and you bear it. Then the writer says to him, son, that you are a man. He must be able to deal with the highest and lowest echelons. So this word is echelons. Echelon means ranks, strata of levels of the society. There are highest levels, ranks, and lowest levels, ranks, positions. He tells his son that you must be able to deal with the highest and lowest echelons of society, and he must be able to withstand, face the lies and hatred emanating from others. Lies and hatred emanating from others, which are produced by others, which are shown by others. Emanating means shown, emerged, produced by others. So you can simply say that he tells his son that you should be able to face lies, hatred, which are shown to you by other people. But you know, you must not deal in lies and you should not hate those people because they are showing you only their limits, their inner self. But you must not engage yourself in these lowest or detesting habits. In the end, the poet says that if his son has all these qualities, he will really be a successful man. He will become an apple of eye to everyone. Apple of eye to everyone is an idiom, which means very important, very dear to everyone. The earth and all that is in it will belong to him. Therefore, he advises him to possess all these qualities. So, the poem starts with this stanza number 1. He tells his son, if you can keep your head, so this is not you head, if you can keep your head when all about you, or losing theirs and blaming it on you. So he is advising his son, if you can remain steadfast, if you can remain firm, when all about you, when all the people who are with you, around you, they are losing their confidence, they are losing their confidence, their position, their courage, and they blame for such things, and it is all because of you. but you are steadfast, you do not worry about them, then you are a man. So the whole poem is, you will see, if you can, if you can, if you can will be repeated, which is anaphora. Anaphora means if a particular sentence or group of words you see them repeated, we called it anaphora. So if you can, these are many conditions which are placed at the end. You will see the sentence, it is a multiple clauses sentence, a very long sentence, the whole poem, which is many clauses in the form of if you can, then at the end will be the second clause. So if you can keep your head when all about you are losing there and blaming it on you, if you can remain steadfast and they are losing their position, their confidence, and they are blaming you for all this. Secondly, the writer tells his son again, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you. He advises his son that you should have trust in yourself. And other men, if other men doubts you, you should not worry about them, but make allowance for them doubt for their doubting too. But make allowance for their doubting too means, if you paraphrase it, do make some concession. Do make some concession for their doubting too. If they doubt you, forgive them. Make some concession, some space for their doubts if they are doubting you, but you should not lose faith, trust in yourself. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting. So, one more quality that he wants to see in his son, that you should have the quality to wait. So, this is tolerance, patience, and you should not get tired by waiting. When all people lie, tell, when all people tell a lie about you, but he advises his son that you should not deal in lies or being hated. This is not heated, being hated. People hate you. Don't give way to hating, but you should not hate anybody. Or yet, don't look too good nor talk too wise. But he tells his son one thing, that you should not show off yourself as a virtuous and wise man. Try to avoid to be too good or to be too wise, because to be too good is also a bad thing, and to be too wise is also not recommended, because then the people will never leave you alive. They will be after you to kill you, to bring your life to end. So see the paraphrase, my son, if you are steadfast. So this is the first couplet. If you are steadfast, when other people around you are confused, they are losing their means, they are losing their confidence, they are confused, and they are blaming you for their failure. And all of them tell you that it is all because of you. If you have faith and trust in yourself, but you should have faith and trust, as I told you, whereas other people doubt you and you allow them for their doubt, and you also forgive their doubts. If you can wait with patience and is not tired by waiting, and people may tell lies about you and don't tell lies about them. If they hate you and you don't hate them, if they have all these, if you have all these qualities, then you are a successful man. But you must not show off yourself as a virtuous and a wise man. Too good, too wise. Virtuous and a wise man. And the second stanza, as you can see, if you can dream and don't make dreams your master. So here, make, don't make dreams your master. If you can think and not make thoughts your aim. If you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat these two impostors just the same. If you can bear to hear the truth you have spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build them up with worn out tools. In the first two lines, the writer advises his son that you should not run after dreams. You should not make build castles in the air. Do not make dreams your master. You should dream. You should have certain ambitions, but you should not run after your dreams all the time because it makes you a passive man. In the next two lines, the writer advises his son that triumph and disaster, this victory and failure, they are impostors, cheaters, deceivers. Because triumph, victory makes you proud, and disaster, failure makes you lose your heart. So both make you not a good man, but they some lead you somewhere to an unpleasant situation. So these two are imposters. These are cheaters. Do not follow them closely. In the next two lines, the writer advises his son, the poet advises his son that you have spoken truth, you have composed something, you have written an essay or a poem or a novel, or you have made a statement, and that statement is twisted, as I told you. It is changed by rogues, by men of bad character, in order to make a trap for fools, for simple minded people, and you forbear it, then you are a man. And then he tells you, watch, you gave your life to broken. If you have made a lot of wealth, or you have made a lot of things in your life and they are broken by somebody, and you see them with patience and you start again, you stoop means you start again and build them again with your worn out tools, with your worn out body. Worn out tool means when your body is not able to work anymore, but you force your body to start your building, your gaining of things again, then you are a real man. So, my son, daydreaming and building castles in the air are useless. For achieving success, practical work must be done. By practical work, you may achieve victory. Keep this thing in mind that victory and failure are two cheaters. Victory makes you a man full of pride, and failure makes a man lose heart. That's why they are cheaters. My son, you must have the courage and boldness to face these two deceivers or impostors in your life, these triumph and disaster. If you have the courage to hear the truth that you have spoken, changed by the rogues, bad character, to cheat simple people, a trap for fools, simple people. If something made by you is broken, you made something and it was broken by somebody, then you don't be depressed and you do not get depressed, and you start remaking that thing with your old tools. Old tool means when you are old enough, then you are a successful man. So the poet in these lines, explanation if, gave a view too. In these lines advises his son that young ones must have some ambitions, wishes and ideals to be fulfilled, but efforts must not be made to achieve dreaming and building castles in the air. He must be brave enough to face the realities of life. He also must remain calm and quiet in the hour of crisis. Victory and failure are two impostors of human life. The poet works his son against them and convinces him not to be deceived by success, and at the same time should not take failure to heart. It means that he should not boast of his success and not lose heart at his failure. He must have the courage to hear his statement changed by the rogues to cheat some simple people. He should forgive them for their negative thinking. One should not hate with others when they hate with him. He should not be worried. Instead, he should try to rebuild these things with his old tools. In fact, the poet wants his son to have good qualities of head and heart to become a successful man in his life. So, So stanza number 3 is again a list of certain qualities which the writer wants to see in his son. If you can make one heap of all your winnings, heap pile. If you can make a pile of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss. Pitch and toss means a game of chance, and you lose them in a game of chance. You made a pile of your winnings, resources, achievements, and you lost them in a game of chance and lose and start again at your beginnings. And you lost and you lose, lost it, and you start again at your beginnings. So, how difficult it is to lose your achievements and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss, and you should not say a word about what you have lost. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew means your body or tissues. You can, if you are able to force your heart and nerve and sinew when they are no more functional, because they have spent their time to serve your turn long after they are gone. Long after they are gone means when they are no more functional, because they have spent their time. And so hold on when there is nothing in you, and you continue your working, and you have nothing in you, you have no force in you except the will. So it is the will which forces you, and your will tells your body to hold on, to continue, keep on. Hold on means keep on, continue. So hold on when there is nothing in you except the will, which says to them means your parts of body. This will says to the parts of body, hold on, continue, keep on. Let us see the paraphrase and explanation. My son, if you make a big pile of all your resources and achievements and then have this courage to risk them in a game of chance, and you lose everything. In such a critical situation, you must not be discouraged. You should again take a start from the beginning. If you have suffered a loss, don't mention it to others. You can force your heart, muscles, and nerve to work even harder to achieve a particular purpose. You can survive in a difficult situation if you have a strong will and determination. When you have nothing else to support you, your strong determination will be there to help you. The poet actually in these lines advises his son and tells him how to face difficult and adverse situations in your life. He advises his son to be not to lose his heart. He loses all his resources in a game of chance. In such a desperate moment, he should not become disappointed. He must not waste a minute and begin from the start. He should not mention his losses or failures to the people, even when his heart, nerve, muscles, and other parts of body have stopped functioning. He should have the power to force them to work for a particular purpose. If he has the quality to build up his courage, he can easily survive even in very difficult situation. He can win back what he has lost through strong will and determination, because they are keys to survive and get success. Actually, the poet wants his son to have all these qualities. So, in this last stanza, the writer once again shows a list of good qualities to his son if he want to be successful. If you can talk with crowds and keeps your virtue. Who talks with crowds? One who is a leader. So he tells his son, if you are a leader, but you must keep your virtue means you must keep your moral standard. You should not go away. You should not lose your moral standard. Or walk with kings, or you enjoy the company of kings, of higher authorities, or people at higher position, nor lose the common touch. Nor lose the common touch means you should not lose your connection with ordinary people, with common people. You should enjoy the company of kings, people at higher position, but at the same time you should not lose touch with common people. If neither fools nor loving friends can hurt you, so this is the condition which the writer puts to his son. If your enemies whose enemies? Loving friends, your close friends. If they cannot hurt you, if they cannot take the courage to hurt you, if all men count with you means if they depend upon you, but not too much. But you should not treat anyone on special basis. If they depend upon you, but you should not give extra importance to a man or a person or anyone in your company. You should treat them on equal basis, on equal level. Give equal importance to all your friends or your men in company. If you can fill the unforgiving minute, this verse means you should not lose your time. Give importance to time. Time is very precious. Can fill the unforgiving minute means time is very precious. With 60 seconds run worth of distance, with 60 seconds worth of distance run, with 60 seconds, it once again means that even a second is important in your life. You should not exploit, you should not waste even a second in your life, because in a second you can cover a lot of distance. 30 seconds or 60 seconds or 2 seconds or 5 seconds, they are important in your life. You should not waste them. You can cover a lot of distance in these seconds. If you have all these qualities as mentioned in all the stanzas, then you are is the earth and everything that is in it. Then everything that is on earth and everything that you see on earth, and it is yours. And which is more, and what do you want more? You will be a man. You will be a true man and a real man, my son. So in these lines, the poet addresses and advises his son to be a man of actions. He tells him how to behave in a dignified way in different situations. He advises his son to keep a high moral standard if he has to express his feelings to a very large gathering of people. Moreover, if he enjoys the company of kings, he should not forget ordinary human beings. He must have to adopt such an attitude that neither his enemies nor his friends can hurt him. As a matter of fact, the poet praising those persons who treat the high and the low on the same level. The poet advises his son, if all men depend on him, he should give proper importance to all. He advises his son that time is very precious and he should not waste a single minute or even a second. Every second of life is precious and he should not exploit the time, waste the time. He says that one can travel a great distance toward his destination in a short time. In the end, the poet says if his son has all these qualities, he will really be a successful man. He will become an apple to of eye to everyone. The earth belongs to him, and everything that is in it will be him, will be his. Therefore, he advises his son to possess all these qualities. So, this is the end of this lecture. Thank you very much.